G'day guys, welcome back to Intel Extreme Masters in Taipei. Maynard and Todd, we're together again, man.
Reunited. It's about time. I've missed you.
I've missed you too, mate. Just got all those nice feels just then. Hope you guys enjoying the stream so far. It's been a pretty intense tournament so far. You guys got to enjoy some Snute action?
I have enjoyed the games.
That's right. And we're about to have a little bit more Snute action coming up. But before we do that, let's have a look at the first open bracket and how it's going on in today's tournament. We've got Jakji going through over Impact. A couple of expected results here. But, yeah, look at that. So Hero actually managed to get over Haas with a 2-0. I actually watched those games from behind him. He looked very, very solid.
Yeah, I watched a bunch as well.
Looked pretty one-sided.
Very good games.
Yeah.
Linok took out Saxry very convincingly.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because I like to make fun of Apollo's prediction, and he predicted Linok to do well. So as soon as I saw him here, I started making fun of him. But I have to say, after seeing those games, Linok's looking pretty good.
Well, I predicted it as well, and my predictions are always amazing. So let's go to the second bracket. Sean getting over Check, not a huge surprise there. Revival and Dongrigu having a pretty close battle with Revival edging him out. Now this is an upset here, and this is the next map. We're going to be showing you Ian versus Snute, but Ian getting a 2-1 over Patience. Someone that I definitely didn't think would get over Patience here.
Yeah, he seems to be a very good reactionary Zerg. Like, he adjusted a lot to everything that Patience was doing, used a lot of different mixes, you know, some Roach Hydra, some Mutus in a base trade to win the last game. So definitely a good surprise to have, you know, one of those guys that we don't get to see too often do so well here against somebody like
and a local
Patience.
boy too. So probably got some fans. So a lot of fans out there outside of the player area cheering their favorite players on. A lot of the Koreans have fans here as well.
It's always cool to play back at home. I've experienced it a long time ago in Warcraft 3.
Yeah.
And it's a special feeling.
That's right. So getting into this, it's going to be another ZvZ, pretty much the match of the day, Todd. The amount of Zergs we have here, 14 out of the 28 players at this tournament are Zerg.
Only 14? I thought it was more,
feels
really.
like more.
When I looked at the bracket, I saw all red, and then I saw one Terran and one Protoss lost in there. I didn't realize there were actually more than that of them.
Yep, just 14 at the moment, but who knows? Another player could just turn into a Zerg.
Maynard.
They just keep growing. For the Swarm, indeed, mate. So we're going to have a ZvZ coming up. Do you think... I don't know a whole lot about Ian, unfortunately, because the kid is a bit of an enigma. And as I'm sure a lot of people would be in a similar boat. How do you feel about Snute's chances here?
I think they're pretty good. Like Snute, he played pretty well in the last series. He seems confident. He's always playing very well in those Intel Extreme Masters tournaments. So I'm starting to feel it for Snute here. And if he loses, I'm going to feel really bad after saying that, because I feel like I've jinxed him. But how do you feel about ZvZ?
How do I feel about ZvZ?
You have something special to say about the matchup?
About the matchup? I've cast a lot of it. That's one thing that I can say straight off the bat. There's been a lot of ZvZs on my side of the world. But regarding Snute, I'd have to say that I'm favoring him quite heavily here in this matchup because, well, for starters, it's Snute. His ZvZ stats are pretty incredible. Also, I was talking to Penguin a little bit before. Shout out to that guy. He's here at this tournament, flew on the same flight with Snute. Had a bit of a chat with him. And Snute right now feels like he's top 10 Zerg in the world. Not top 10 foreigner at ZvZ, but top 10 ZvZ.
Only top 10?
I
would place him even above that.
Well, he's a humble man. He's a very humble man. He doesn't want to bite off more than he can chew. But Snute feels like he's got the skills to pay the bills, and I kind of agree with him. Every ZvZ that I've seen from him has been pretty convincing.
He's always had the skills to pay the bills because he had the cash host. So of course.
Cash hosts. Of course, guys. How silly of me. But anyway, let's cross over into the game. It has begun. We'll look forward to Snute versus Ian. And on the top here, on Catalina, the Yo Flash Wolves player, it is Ian. And in the bottom right spawn, Team Liquid's very own Snute.
What do you think about ZvZ metagame right now?
With the new maps, it's gotten very 2-basey.
You casted Pig versus King Kong very recently.
Yeah, that honestly, a couple of those games didn't even get a second hatchery in them, Todd, because it was just Ling-Baneling wars the whole time.
So
very intense.
Is that the metagame, or?
Is that the metagame? Well, you know, the metagame is aggression on 2 bases usually. Both players will try and stretch it out to a 3rd base. Players.
What units?
Well, it would generally the Roach. But it's starting to sort of go into Mutalisk and Swarm Host a little bit at the highest level as well.
I've seen a lot of Mutas. You know, I watched earlier Linok was facing Saxry, and in the second game, man, he both of them went into Mutas. It looked like they had the same numbers in terms of Mutas, but he just got in there and killed Saxiri right out. So right now, it really feels like in Muta versus Muta, at least when I watched that game, it really felt like the better player just wins, which is weird because I remember a while back when there was a lot of Muta. I mean, ZvZ was all about Mutas versus Mutas before the Spore buff. Yep. Some of them were complaining that Muta versus Muta was like too random and like not good, but I don't know. Right now, it looked pretty good when I saw some of those games.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of people make that argument about mass Roach as well, like the Roach headbutt, saying that that's not a something that's not too entertaining or not too fun to play. But I disagree. There's players that manage to switch it up and actually get those concaves, get those right positions is really impressive to me. I find it very entertaining. So right off the bat, we see both players being as greedy as possible, going for 15 hatches, and Ian just with a slight differentiation here, going for that gas instead of going gasless like Snute.
Yeah, Snute goes for the gas, but after, so
yeah,
I guess Ian should be able to get his speed earlier than Snute here in this game. And yeah, other than that, no early on big aggression, which I've seen a lot of actually in the previous game. Saxiri, he rushed Linok twice in the 2 games that he played against him with some early pull. And in the first game, he just didn't work, he died right out. Then in the second one, he did a little bit of damage, got a cancel on that natural, and then from there it went into a longer game. But doesn't feel like Snute or Ian in the first game here. Doesn't feel like either of them wanted to try something like that at all.
Well, this usually tells me that both players are pretty confident and quite set in their ways with this sort of build on this sort of map. Like it's map dependent what you do in ZvZ sometimes, especially on maps where the third is a little bit harder to take. You see that Ian's leaving 1 drone in the gas here, so maybe taking up 2 Banelings to go along with the speed that he's going to be getting as well.
I wonder
he actually hasn't spent that 100 gas yet, so
yeah.
It actually ends up with Snute getting the speed first, even though Ian got the earlier gas. So trying to see what Ian's plan is here.
Neither of them really scouted much in terms of seeing the opponent's base. Neither of them has scouted a building from the opponent, other than Snute scouted the natural of Ian. So now is going to be the time where Zerglings try to squeeze into the opponent's main, try to see where they're at in terms of gas, if speed has started or not, and Ian is going to be the first one to try and squeeze through two Zerglings through to the main. He's going
to see the Baneling nest here from Snute. There it is. The Queen will get rid of these Lings eventually, but all he wanted was that scouting information. He does manage to achieve it, and Snute's pretty much doing what I thought Ian was going to do with the earlier gas and with the gas still mining in the main. But he still is up to 150 now and hasn't spent it. I guess he's trying to decide what to do, what path he wants to take. Does he want to go, for a really fast lair? Does he want to get his own Baneling nest? Does he want to get a Roach Horn immediately?
For a moment, I was worried this might be a mistake, but with him now starting a spine and droning up, I think he just didn't want to spend that 100 minerals.
Yep.
On
Snute does get in here for a look, and he'll see that gas, and he can click on that gas and see how much has been mined out of it as well.
Does he realize that there is no speed though? Because he could have just finished, and since all the links of Ian died except the one that's actually across the map, I guess Snute now should realize what happened here. But is there really anything he can do to punish? Realizing that there is no speed, because across the map there is going to be a wall off now for Ian, a spine. So I guess overall it was a good move.
Yeah, and Ian, because he's been mining this gas, he's taking all these other gases in these bases as well. So he's going to go up to 4 total with the lair, and the 2 Evo chambers, and the Roach Warren. So he's going to get every upgrade that he can possibly get out for these Roaches, and he's going to hit them all at the same time. As soon as all the tech finishes, of course. Snute getting his own lair back at home, and he started his Roach Warren a little bit later as well. Just trying to get that super fast third, which is scouted by the Overlord.
Snute is doing a better job of making drones, by the way. He's droned up very, very heavily this game, and quite a few times he was like 5 or 6 drones ahead. Ian keeps on catching up. Right now, Snute on 47 drones against 40 for Ian. Who's starting to make some Roaches already with 4.
Yeah, actually is getting up there, spending that lava, and it actually is only getting the 1 upgrade for now. I would thought with the Evo chambers that he would have spent pretty much everything, but there's that very fast Roach speed coming up. Ian starting to move his position down here to secure that 3rd hatchery that he's trying to get up. Nice little move here, dropping that creep to get that spine crawler a little bit earlier.
Are we going to see a launch pad at the edge of the creep, those Roaches?
Snute loves his launch pads, man. He knows all about them. We'll talk about them all day long, and I think that we will be seeing them, Todd. I think that with these Roaches coming up with both players, we see a lot of launch pad action.
Snute, I remember him as the guy who just kept on beating Hyun consistently in terms of playing Roaches against Roaches. I mean,
and Hyun is the Roach guy.
Yeah, he's the Roach king. If you beat him Roach against Roach, you can beat anybody Roach against Roach. So Snute, I have a good feeling here for him. He's already ahead in supply, by 10 supply. which is mostly in walkers. I guess
Yep.
Ian, 14 roaches to 7. This could get dangerous, but Snute, he's not droning up anymore. He's only making units now. There is going to be a very short timing during which Ian's going to have speed and +1, and Snute won't.
Yeah, but it's only a few seconds, and Snoot's getting that count up. I mean, with a superior econ, his roach count's going to get way up there. Ian is making another 8, Snute making another 5.
Oh,
One
man.
queen's going to get this Overlord.
That queen,
Yeah.
you're far away from home, Overlord. So is the queen, and it snipes it all the way up there.
Speed finishing for Ian now. The roach is heading across the map. A queen with 1 or 2. Oh, she's got 2 kills to her name. Damn, that's a hard-working queen.
Badass queen.
Yeah.
Snute taking an additional gas in his main, and yeah, and he's actually the one Chris spreading here a little bit more. Second evolution chamber, by the way, going down here for Ian, who started +2 much earlier than Snute will.
Ooh.
The launch pad, man.
Yeah, it's the launch pad. He's going to get a roach or 2 here. Doesn't have speed just yet. Now he's got it. +2, the all-important +2 on the way
a
for
run
Ian.
by
And a
in the
bit of a
third
run
base.
by with Snute heading into the third, getting some drones here, trying to even things up a little bit for Ian.
Snipes 5 drones. That's a pretty good number.
Yeah,
6.
He lost about the similar amount of roaches to get this run by half though. And it's quite a bit of supply and resources there.
Yeah, killing 6 drones here, he brought the walker counts to 55 against 59, so he has that working for him. And he's starting +1 ground carapace now. Do you think there is any chance Ian might try to hit a timing with +2 just when he has it and before he thinks Snute could get it? It could be very strong.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, Snute still has a supply advantage. He still has a drone lead, but it is albeit a very slight one. But he can try and get himself a timing where his army is a little bit stronger. Just try and hit Snute before he's get those all important. I mean, Snute's already got +1 carapace and 2/2, not that far behind Ian. I mean, actually, the +2 attack is reasonably ahead for Ian, so it would definitely be good for him. Yeah, he's making 11, 12 roaches now. He definitely looks like he wants to move across with that +2. Snute, however, getting the infestation pit to get those infestors out, or for the later meta, going for the swarm host.
Hey, it's funny, actually, both players on about 16 mineral probes, drones, sorry, per base. And then from there, it's all units. You just max out on roaches, you make sure that either you don't die or you have enough to attack and make sure you open on those. And even though Snute went for the infestation pit here,
Yeah.
he's going to keep on making roaches, I guess, for now. And as he banks more and more gas, he's going to be able to start adding infestors to his composition. Whereas for Ian here, there is no infestation pit in sight.
Look at the vision difference between Ian and Snute. Snute hasn't got much of an overlord spread and definitely not much of a creep spread at all. Ian, however, this creep spread's been really good for him. He's going to know he has complete map vision and map control right now.
Ooh, Snute's making a lot of spores here.
Yeah.
He's, I guess, going to make units and then cancel those.
Yeah.
Bam, 204 supply.
There you go. Hacks heading across the map. Ian's got a big roach count. Infestors just coming out for Snute. Will they be out in time? It's looking like they might be a little bit late here.
Even if they come out late, as long as they come out, they're going to have pathogen glands.
Yes.
4 fungals against this pack of roaches. Christmas, man.
Exactly. Huge fungals. Very easy to hit. Huge clusters. There's roaches of Ian looking for that all-important concave. Looks like they're going to get it. Spine crawlers from Snute didn't finish in time. He's really pushing the issue here. Infestors are about to pop the Snute. This engagement looks decent for him. He has the defender's advantage as well.
Yeah, but Ian has way more roaches. 35 to 26
Here come
right
the
now.
fungals. One fungal locking down a lot of roaches, but he just has so many. He's pushing through on Snute here. The queens are coming down. They don't have enough to transfuse at all.
Yeah, and Ian really going for that one timing, maybe knowing sort of that Snute may have gone for infestors, but right now it looks like Snute might be able to hold, producing from 3 hatcheries with the inject. He's getting enough roaches out to push this back, but the next wave for Ian is marching across the map, and he's got, oh man, he's got 33 roaches against 21 now.
He has 17 on the way for Snute, though. He's about to even the score, and with the infestors in some time, he'll be able to have that energy for the fungals as well. Also, Snute's army supply did dip a little bit there, and his bank's not looking as good as Ian's either, so it's going to be a little bit tough. This one defense, he has to trade really well here. Ian pushing across. Infested Terran's going down. He doesn't have enough for a fungal. This is a great timing attack here from Ian, hitting before there's too much infestor energy, but Snute just has too much production at the moment. Ian needs to calm down a little bit and just get those numbers up. 18 more roaches on the way.
Ian actually has more production because he has a macro hatch in his main. Snute doesn't have a macro hatch.
No.
And now, Ian is even going to have a 4th base to work with. Snute didn't even start his. So in terms of production, I really feel like Ian here he has a great lead. Like he not only can max out faster, he can remax faster than Snute. And Snute, he starts the level 2 carapace. But
well, that's the one thing he can do at this point. Without having that extra hatchery and the extra lava, he has to try and have that upgrade advantage and win those fights.
But I don't even know if this will come into play at all. Like Ian supposedly he maxes out, he keeps on attacking. But wait a second, Snute for some reason thinks that he can start a Hydra List Den and a Hive as well.
Okay, so Snute's feeling like he's got a good opening here, and I guess it's because Ian hasn't hit at the time that he expected him to hit, and Ian's getting his infestation pit up behind this. Snute still has these infestors accumulating energy just to the south of his roaches, so he's going to have more energy than Ian for a little while here if Snute wants to try and do this unit switch and make it happen. I mean, if Ian gives Snute space here with that 4th base and also with the tech that he's going to have, Snute can definitely win fights. Ian's completely aware of this, and he's sending roaches to that 4th hatchery. Snute also knowing that the army movements of Ian are happening here, and he's just going to try and get himself a position to be able to engage this roach army, although he might just need to let the 4th go.
He's going to have a few fungals to work with, and that's nice. He has 4 of them still with the 4 infestors that he made earlier.
Ian's trying to spring an Admiral Akbar trap here. He's waiting.
Oh, the spore trick! Snute is making spores again at the natural, so we're going to see the same thing. 200 supply still, but yeah, he's going to cancel here in a second, have more.
Yeah.
We need to be careful, actually. Those are close to finishing. You don't want that many spores to finish against mass roaches, Maynard.
No, I mean, if he had a bunch of swarm hosts and he was against me, oh god, that spore nearly finished. That was so close. But yeah, no, he does finish. He gets up to the 212 supply. Nice little trick for all of you Zerglings staying at home.
+3 missile attack starts, Maynard. If Ian...
The Hive advantage, man, and his +2 is going to be around before Ian's as well.
If he's not careful and lets this complete and then fights.
I actually think that if Snute attacks reasonably soon, he'll be in a good spot against Ian. He's going to have the Hydralisk advantage, he's going to have the Infestor energy advantage, and he's going to have the upgrade advantage, and there it is.
And Snute has less walkers as well. I really like the way he's playing this. Like, he knows that he's going to max out no matter what. So he made sure that he didn't go for too many walkers. He has 154 army supply against 138. So not only he had the perfect walker counts, he also used, I guess, the building trick.
Nice. Snute in position. He realized that Ian could try a run by while his army was defending his 4th hatchery, which was completely successfully defended, by the way. That 4th hatchery is going to go up, and Snute has a superior army heading across the map with better upgrades.
It's go time.
Yeah, it is go time, man. With that Hydralisk count, he's going to have that DPS, and the Roach meat shield is quite impressive as well. He's just going to try and find that right angle. There's so many places where Ian can spin a trap on him. Ian's not saturated his 4th at all.
He has quite a few spines, though, to help and defend, but those could actually play against him if his army gets trapped a little bit behind those. Yeah. And the fungals here. Oh my god, there's, I think, 8 fungals
almost max energy, yeah. And he has the overseas as well, so he's clearing up creep during this attack, which was Ian's kind of map vision advantage that he had for a while. Here he goes, engaging against spine crawlers. Some of the Hydras at the top here. All the roaches locked in the middle. Nice engagement for Snute so far. A flank from the back with some roaches from Ian. Will it be enough though? Time will tell as the Hydras are starting to thin in number. The roaches in the middle, hitting that fungal, lost a lot of hit points. He's trying to make spine crawlers come down from the 3rd. Snute is pushing through though, Todd. He's going to get up into the natural here. He can cancel +3 on the Evo Chamber.
He could get the Roach Rowan as well. It would be a massive deal here if he got that. I mean, Snute right now, he's looking to try and finish the game. Ian's trying to regroup to get some reinforcements. And I guess he gets them on time, and Snute knows that, so he's going to try to pull back here. But he leaves some roaches behind here.
This is a miscontrol from Snute, I feel. Or maybe he's just trying to delay the arming of Ian, but he didn't kill a hatchery in that. He didn't stop any upgrades. He didn't kill any major tech. He traded well, but Ian...
all of a sudden, the army supply is even 108 to 108. They have the same walker count. This is a perfect mirror. But remember, Snute is going to have +3 missile attacks finishing way earlier than his opponent. So if he goes for a timing with this, still having a few infestors here and there, I think he's lost some, but he's remade some. Well, he's up to 5 right now.
Does Ian even have infestors? He's only going Roach Hydra at this stage. So Snute, the infestors are a huge advantage in this kind of battle.
Well, I mean, you have 1 roach less per infestor, which does not always translate into an advantage, man.
Oh well, okay, all right. I think I'd rather have 5 infestors than 5 extra roaches any day.
We're gonna have the spore trick here again, and Snute this time. I really feel like this attack could be the one. 147 army supply to 130.
Getting Vipers as well.
Ian is just not using the building trick, the spore trick. He's getting Vipers instead.
Yep. And
no, it's Snute that's getting a Viper.
Snoop's getting Vipers, and that's just for the blinding cloud. He's just going to try and win this final engagement.
That's just for flavor.
Just for flavor, because he can, Todd. Why not, indeed. Moving across the map. More creep being taken out on the way. Ian is max supply. Snute just a little bit overmaxed. Infestors really want to hit those money fungals. Ian trying to set up another flank. He's trying to keep that concave. It's really hard to get that concave when you're the attacking player in this position. Very easy to get it when you're in an Eon spot. Oh, he's going to take some Roach damage on the back here as he gets into position. The Roaches are in a great spot. The Hydra's in a great spot. Fungal's going down. Snute's getting all the Fungals here in the front of the natural. Some reinforcements from the right here from Ian. And a reinforcement from the back. This flank from Ian might actually swing things in his favor here. Snute just has too much though. 33 and 34 Roaches apiece coming from both players. Snute still has quite a bit of a bank though. He's 20 supply up. He's pressing the issue. The Roaches and the Hydras of Ian. The defender's advantage will keep him alive for now. And he's lost 10 drones during that.
This tiny run by might be a big deal here. Even though Snute, by the look of things, he's going to be hell here. Behind this, he's just getting so many units out. He has the one Viper basically on full energy. That one hero Viper, man.
This Viper is going to actually play a deal in the next match.
It's actually gonna get the match point here.
I think so.
It's gonna do everything with one single blinding cloud. It's gonna win the game.
This might be the one unit that seals the deal. It's like a Warcraft 3, man. The hero unit is on the field, ready to make a difference for the army.
Okay, Yan, by the look of things, wants to end this game here. He could have actually burrowed and regenerated those Roaches, but he didn't. And he's caught here.
A lot of free damage. Snute's definitely caught him. The Roaches are coming back. Meanwhile, they're taking a lot of losses on the retreat. They can get this hatchery on the way out at least, but they're just going to leave it.
The Viper is still not doing anything. Come on.
It will.
He's on strike.
Some Roaches of Ian coming down for some more econ damage. He's taking a bit from Snute. Like to get some drone kills himself. Doesn't actually get any just yet. I think Snute's actually going to just deflect this completely.
Yan is the only one with burrow, by the way. Snute never made burrow, so if Yan had used this well, especially now, look at those Roaches.
He hasn't used burrow at all, actually, this whole game.
Yeah, they're missing a lot of hit points. Doesn't seem to remember that he researched it.
Snute's only down to 2 Infestors now. He's lost a few in that last attack, which actually didn't go so great for him. That one Viper, the one that I keep talking about, is just sitting there. He's still on Smoko, taking it easy. Now he wants to join with the army. Blinding Clouds will definitely play a big deal here after he gets nothing but ranged units from both players.
Getting a good concave is going to be important. And Ian finally remembered he had burrow, but there is an overseer with Snute's army here, so he's not going to walk on top of that and get surprised. Ian's trying to max out right now.
Yeah, he's trying. He doesn't have a lot of mineral bank though. Snute, however, sitting up nearly 2,000 minerals.
If he goes up the ramp, he could have never come down against the...
Fungals going down. The Viper hasn't come into play yet. There's a big flank from Ian once more, getting a big flank from the back. He's going to complete surround around Snute's army. I think Ian's going to get this turn. The blinding clouds are going down, but it's not covering enough. Snute actually just has too much army supply. 125 over 44. Ian's positioning was good. His ideas were good, but Snute, it's just a numbers game. He had too much. GG. The Norwegian Zerg takes game 1.
Snute is a beast, man. This was beautiful ZvZ play here out of him. Very fluid. I don't know if that's the right word, but you know, just
like liquid.
Yes. No. I don't know in French you could use that word actually. It's like very smooth, I guess, would be the word that fits him well here. You know, from start to finish, getting his upgrades going, using the building trick where you get some spores and you translate that into basically doing even more units than just maxing out. And yeah, just doing a few things here and there that Ian just didn't do himself. And then in the end, he made a big difference.
Did indeed. We saw that unveil before our very eyes. We're just going to take a quick 1-minute break before we get into game number 2. Guys, you're watching Intel Extreme Masters Taipei. Don't go away. What's up, guys? Welcome back. We are about to get into game number 2 between Snute and Ian. And I got to say, Todd, even though Snute won that first game, Ian is far more impressive than I expected here. He is actually blowing away my expectations.
He had some very good attempts at surrounds here. If he hadn't done that, I think he would have lost much earlier, especially in terms of fungals. Like, you know, everything would have been clumped. And he had some very nice snipe, even, like on those infestors that went supposedly in the back of the army of Snute. So those surrounds were nice, but in the end, Snute was just too good and too solid overall. Yeah,
Snute's always looked so clean, as we were saying about his ZvZ. Ian, though, there were some parts of that game where he was just straight up ahead, which is something that I can't say about many Zergs that I've been casting versus Snute lately. So it's impressive. Anyway, we are in game number 2. Let's switch along into the game. We have got in the bottom left here this beast from Team Liquid, the ZvZ God. This is Snute. The top right, the Taiwanese hero. Can he get himself a tied series? This is Ian from Yo Flash Wolves.
And the winner of this actually will play either Hyun or Revival, who are playing right now, I believe, on B stream.
That's Roddy and Nathanius' stream, if you guys want to check that out. The
okay, actually Hyun won. Hyun won that 2-0, okay. So Snute against Hyun, wow. Ooh. You want to see Roaches against Roaches? That could be a good match, but first, he needs to beat Ian here. The local player.
Someone I'd imagine that a lot of people, including Snute himself, probably didn't think would be too much of a threat in his ZvZ run through this bracket.
Maybe he still doesn't think of
Maybe he still doesn't think it. Maybe he had a smile on this whole time. He knew he was in charge, and we were the ones that were being fooled, Todd. Could have been. So obviously this is a 2-player map, single spawn locations. Opens the pass for aggression, but up to the 15, 14 sort of supply. Yeah, okay, so it looks like both players playing very safe, very standard. Both players getting the pulls immediately on 15. Not going to go too risky in this second game here.
Yeah. Like Overgrowth is probably like the oldest map in the poll currently. That's also like kind of the most appreciated out of all of them.
That's a good word for it, actually.
Yeah.
It's just, it reminds me of like,
you know why?
The Daybreaks.
Because every other map is so underappreciated.
Yeah, well, this new map pool as well, the ones that we're going to sporting a little bit here at Intel Extreme Masters Taipei, they need a bit more appreciation as well. Not too many games have been played on them this tournament, or in general, really.
Well, what's your favorite map out of the new maps?
I actually like Expedition Lost quite a bit, and I don't mind Vani, but Vani looks to me like it might be another Overgrowth, a very standard, very safe 3-basey type of map. So. Yeah.
So you're one of those guys who just death balls all the time?
I'm one of those guys that tries something new every game, and I really shouldn't. I should just nail one thing really well. You know that say that the guy you should fear isn't the guy that knows 10,000 kicks, but the guy that's practiced one kick 10,000 times. Yeah, it's a Bruce Lee thing.
Yes, I know that.
Oh,
so you're the other guy?
I'm the other guy. I'm trying 10,000 kicks. That's why I just lose all the time.
Okay. All right, Ian. He's mining out of one extractor here, where Snute is gonna start his now. So actually that was really weird, what he did in the first game, you know, where he didn't start.
One, yeah, he just had like 150 gas and it just kind of sat there.
Like, to me, 100 minerals really feels like nothing, and I play Protoss, like we're supposed to be the poorest out of all the 3 races. So it always surprises me when somebody like refuses to use that 100 minerals, even though he had this investment of mining 100 gas early on. So I really feel like in this game, he definitely should play different, but look at this. He's still mining gas and still doesn't start speed. Maybe his hotkey is wrong. Okay, now here we go.
Oh, this game he got speed. So that last game, maybe he just forgot it.
No, you wouldn't keep on, like, there is no way he forgot not only speed, but also to stop mining gas.
To take the drone out, yeah.
It's like a little bit too much of...
He is against a pretty scary player. Snute getting a big scout of the main here with this one Zergling. Nice little scout there. Not too much to see, though. Early stages ZvZ, you pretty much are guaranteed to scout with your 2 Zerglings. There's not a whole lot you can do about it. And
he cancels speed.
Okay.
And Snute, maybe... Does he start it himself and then cancel it? Or does he just get it? I think Snute just gets it, like in the previous game.
And then Ian starts speed again. Okay. Wow. These mind games, man, they're really telling us. I was like, oh, he's canceled speed, means he might be going for a fast lure or you know, something like that. No, he's actually just getting speed again.
Oh, the Overlords. He restarted it so that the Overlord will still see that he's researching it, but then he's going to cancel it later.
Oh my god, it's mind gameception, man. He sees the quivering spawning pool once again. Will he cancel it again?
No. He's gonna wait. Okay.
Oh, no way! Ian,
And
you
then,
bowler.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really need speed at this point if you know what your opponent's up to. And I mean, he sees that Snute starts at third base. He knows that Snute would have started speed much later than him. So he feels safe, Ian, here with the Evo at the front, the Roach Warren. He could start a wall off if he was getting attacked, you know, or something by a lot of Zerglings. So he feels confident enough to just cancel that skip speed. He has no plan to get any Zerglings. It's all going to be about the Roaches.
Speaking of Zerglings, Snute has quite a few, and he's setting them across the map. Probably going to look for a third hatchery cancel here. Speed just about to finish for the Norwegian Zerg, and there he goes, kicking in the nos, on the way to that third base.
I really like that Snute already has a Queen in position at the third base, by the way, ready to inject.
This third hatchery, I don't know what he can do about this, man. He doesn't have any units.
Not only is he going to cancel that, he
He'll kill the
also
drone.
has the third base about to finish with the Queen there. So Snute's production is basically going to not even explode. It's going to implode. It's going to be so good, Maynard.
That's right. Queen's coming in here, seeing the Roach Warren and the two Evo chambers. Might be known that he's gotten had a little bit by Ian.
Whoa.
Oh, he's going to get two Queen kills. And sees the Roaches pop. And he's going to get into the main.
Is this live playing or something?
Oh my god.
Lings are doing so much
Yeah.
at a time in the game where they're not particularly supposed to do all that much, especially in terms of breaching the natural. Getting the cancel on the third base, sure. Yan, cancel speed, didn't want to make his Zerglings, got punished for it. But then sneaking to natural, getting some snipe on the Queens like that, really nicely down here out of Snute.
That was an effective ball of Zerglings, to say the least.
Oh, he's really afraid of an all-in.
Yeah.
He's starting so many spines. Oh my god.
That's, I mean, if I was in Snoot's position, I would have thought, okay, the one thing Ian has on me is Roach count, so I could lose to, you know, a big Roach number. Maybe he's been bowling them up, but...
Wrong, you will try one of those 1,000 kicks, man.
I would try out kick 9,999, man. Roach is heading towards the third. They see that the Lings are out in flood. It's a lot of Lings, actually. A lot more than those Roaches. I think they can actually engage it.
Ian's getting a perfect scout.
Here comes some more.
On Snoot's base, he's going to see the spines a little bit everywhere, and he sees the big saturation on the third base already. He has to know that he's actually quite a bit behind.
Yeah, in economy, he's once again, just like the last game, falling behind in economy while Snute gets that little bit of extra greed out, takes the map control with his Zerglings.
Yeah, not just the walker count, the saturation here for Snute. Really spread out very well across 3 bases. Only 3 gases, because he knows he doesn't need more than that. 4 now. Ian, though, he's on 4 gases. Maybe if Ian went into something like Infestors from there, he would get way more of them than Snute could. But Snute, his Roach count is going to completely explode in this game.
One thing that's not going to explode for Snute are the upgrades. The upgrades for Ian are quite a way ahead of Snute, as you'd imagine. Oh my god. Oh my god! How do these Lings get through that? They just managed. These are life Lings. Snute somehow is just being near this player has managed him to get life's Ling skill by osmosis. He's got 3 drone kills, he's in the main again, and all this mining time being denied by Ian, further getting ahead in econ.
The mining time is actually a pretty big deal here, especially in terms of gas. It's going to be denied, but I guess he had quite a few of it banked here, Ian. And Snute now 20 supply ahead all of a sudden. In terms of walkers, we're at 68 to 57. If Snute wanted, he could just take the gold, sit back, max out, do the same thing as he did in the previous game, you know, with the Spore trick, and do really well.
He's getting the Infestation Pit once again way before Ian, but once again Ian is going to have an upgrade advantage. He's getting that +2 Carapace, whereas Snoot's only started +1, so he's down 1 upgrade. 2-2 is going to finish around the same time for both players, so it shouldn't make a huge deal, but Ian is just trying to make as much as he can up with all this run by and all this harassment that Snoot's done. It's like he's got it into his head.
You know what's funny? Snoot's macro is just so stupid good that stupid good that he doesn't even need a macro hatch. He always stays on 3 hatcheries on 3 bases. Whereas Ian, he always gets a macro hatch in the main, and in the end he still gets out-macroed, out-produced by his opponents.
He's getting a Baneling Nest now, and I feel like this is a reaction to the fact that there's probably, this is around the time when Hydras start to get put into the Roach composition, when you can hit clusters of Roaches with the Banelings and try and trade well when your army just isn't as good. But his army actually is better than Snoot's right now. He's doesn't have the amount of supply, but they are just so much stronger.
Yeah, he's gonna get 2-2 when Snoot's gonna be 2-1, but if you're gonna go Banelings and you have to face Infestors, I don't know, man. You're gonna need even better than Life's Lings. Like
Ian getting speed at the 12-minute mark, Todd, for those Lings.
Yeah.
Why not?
You know, it's better than forgetting about it. Like, at least Maybe you realize, oh damn, like I actually
if I need to make banelings, I should have lings arrive pretty quickly. Run-bys are always so potentially horrifying in ZvZ.
Oh.
Infestors are out for Snute. They're not rallied, though.
4 roaches on the right-hand side of the map met 3 roaches and chased them away. That's funny. Maybe both of them wanted to go for the same run-by.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
They awkwardly met in that place.
Now, Snute's 4th hatchery is getting up, and Ian actually hasn't seen it because the Overlord's like slightly out of position. Saw that a little bit earlier. His Infestors are still kind of chilling by the natural hatchery. And oh, that's a lot of income right there, that gold base. Another Infestor just chilling.
Snute is just so good in this format, you know, with lots of roaches, possibly Hydralisk and Infestors. He has so much experience with it. There's quite a few Zergs in Europe that he always plays, you know, in the online tournaments, in a lot of the tournaments. Even Koreans, you know, Hyun lived in Europe for the longest time, played so many series against Snute, and Snute just, I feel, has too much experience in this kind of situation to lose against somebody like Ian. It's going to take really something special for Ian to win this game against Snute.
Well, he has a pretty nice roach advantage. He's up about 15 or so roaches at that time, and there's Ian actually doing the Snute trick. He's putting down 12 spore crawlers, Todd. He's taking some tricks away from the Norwegian.
What is he? He's going to get 24 more Zerglings. He's
making banelings.
Oh my god, how many banelings he's going to make?
Probably 24.
That's a great guess, mate.
Yeah.
I thought he had already made a few Zerglings, but actually, no, you're right.
No, these are all going to be banelings. They're going to be looking for connections on those Hydralisks, which Snute has and Ian does not.
Where's your fungals now?
Where are your fungals now, nerd?
Well, let's see. If those banelings clump up and get fungal, it's going to be a nasty fight here for Ian, especially since, like, when you go for this, usually you want to be the one attacking, I feel.
Yep.
And if he's attacking up a ramp into a really bad concave, oh my god. The spore wars, man.
So sick.
It must be nice to be able to go up to 212 supply.
Oh,
I really wish I could do that as Protoss. You know, it would take the death ball to the next level if I could do that.
Yeah.
And I really feel I would enjoy it a lot.
You would enjoy a lot more. So have you played much on the new maps?
Not too much. I played on Secret Spring mostly when I played, and it didn't go too well for me. But you know, actually, I casted some games of Parting recently in an online tournament, and I watched quite a few replays on the way here, and it feels like I will do a lot better now that I've gotten inspiration out of this player. So I actually think that after this tournament, I'm going to ladder a bit and see where that takes me. And I'm probably going to end up doing really badly in
a 50-minute Swarmhost game, and then...
Yes, that's usually all it takes to take away all the passion.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually watched those games between Sulky and... so was it Sulky and Oz? No.
Sulky played Oz and... Well, I mean, yeah, Sulky played Oz and Parting played against Dongregu, yeah.
Yeah. And that game was so sick. It was like taking the offensive gold, like the gold base of the Protoss.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll see Secret Springs today, though. I would be surprised if we see it. A lot of these players are, you know, it's obviously for a lot of money, and they're going to try and stick with what they know.
Are we going to see Inferno pools?
I don't think so.
You know what's funny? Parting in that one online tournament that he played in recently, something happened. I don't know if it was him or his opponent that vetoed Inferno Pulse. I think it was him. And when asked about it, he said, I veto it because I have a secret build on it for Intel Extreme Masters. And then when James asked him, why did you say that? Now people are just going to veto it against you. Parting just went, oh, damn, I didn't think of that.
Yeah, so unfortunately for Parting, probably won't see too many. Well, it depends how many people were watching, but... Another pause, laggy again. Yeah.
160 army supply to 146, by the way, in Snute's favor. So pretty nice position to be in. Only 3 Infestors against 24 Banelings. He's going to need a lot of those 3 points in basketball, man.
Yeah, exactly. A swish, nothing but net.
Like literally from across the field and turn around. You know, like that guy who threw like this and scored and like won the money.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a popular video on YouTube for a while. But yeah, I mean, both players are not. No one wants to play a laggy game, so we're more than happy to wait for them to be in the best situation. But we are about to see the engagement that may.
Yeah, the fight is literally about to happen.
The fight is about to happen. A little bit frustrating. Getting a bit of blue balls, Todd. It happens. StarCraft, sometimes you get pretty excited, and then you just right before that end.
A bit of a standoff right now. It has to be, though, stressing a little bit. You know, when you're about to fight, you know, it's like a very important fight that could decide, I guess, the series, possibly. You know, if Snute was to win that, and then you have to pause for a little bit, because both players here are going to have to stay focused, going to have to kind of picture. It's funny, like, you know how the scenarios where you try to picture every possible outcome? I'm pretty certain that's what's happening right now in both of these players' heads. They're like, hey, if I go there, then he's going to go like that.
Yeah.
And then you try to picture maybe a way that you could lose it if you do that. And you're like, I should try something differently. It's tricky, you know, to stay focused and pick the right decision. And they get more time now to think about how they're going to take the engagement as well.
So these banelings really want a big cluster of those roaches. And the roaches from Snute are pretty spread out, as we can see on our preview screens over here, just during this pause. And
24 banelings though.
But like you said, there's not that many infestors, and those banelings are going to make a huge difference in this fight, I feel. It's a lot of gas, so they have to for Ian. If they don't, Snute's going to overwhelm him because he is making Hydras behind the attack as well.
Snute has way more money, by the way. About 3,000 minerals to 1,500. So if he was to have to remax, and I'm pretty sure they will, because
they need to be the most clutch baneling hits.
Yeah.
And he needs to trade very, very efficiently to get it here. Because
24 is a lot.
I would definitely rather be in Snute's position right now, that's for sure.
Keep in mind, those banelings, they don't have any melee attacks as well. But 24 is still a pretty good number.
All right. Looks like the game's on pause, guys. Let's get back into it. Don't miss too much.
The dance has resumed.
Yes, the dance, the ZvZ dance of love. Launch pads and roach headbutt. +3 on the way for Snute as well, so this fight really needs to go well for Ian. They actually just both pull back.
And Ian, infestation pit and spine crawlers here.
Okay.
A lot of spine crawlers.
But he made all these banelings. When you make all these banelings, I think that means you want the force the engagement. But
except if the game is paused, and then you decide that it's actually not gonna work.
Yeah, he's taking it easy here. 3-3 on the way for Snute. He always gets that hive before his opponent in ZvZ if it gets this late. Tunneling claws on the way for Ian, getting that burrow again. Now this is something that could make a difference for him as the game goes longer, but does Snute want the game to go much longer? Can the game go much longer? His upgrade advantage is about to get insane.
Ian, again, by the way, the one getting burrow and tunneling claw, so he's gonna have quite a bit of initiative here to maybe make something happen, you know, with burrowed roaches in every single base, trying to snipe drones here and there.
Spire and Hive for Ian as well going down. Maybe trying to get to the Broodlord.
That pose did wonders for these guys.
Yeah, in all honesty, you have that time during that pause to think about it, which is why, you know, sometimes a little bit awkward when a player has to pause at this kind of the game, because it gives time for your opponent to think, and also for you, if you're the laggy player and you're just worried about getting back into the game, the other guy's just sitting there thinking about his situation. And
imagine Ian was thinking the whole time, I'm gonna go for it, I'm gonna go for it. And then as the game unfolds,
he's like, no, wait.
Actually, no, you know what, I'm just gonna go back.
Decided to think with the brain between his ears instead of the other one.
It's like me.
Spotted.
It's like me at a club thinking about talking to a girl. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it up until the last second.
Oh.
I'm just not gonna do it.
I'm sure you're just being hard on yourself, Todd. I'm sure it's very, very easy for a Frenchman like you.
26 spores on the way.
Oh wow. So Snute's supply 40 spores, 42 spores going down for Snute.
Oh my God!
Wow, he must have all these things hotkeyed.
How do you even? Yeah, like imagine you don't hotkey and you don't. Oh my God! The ones in the main were so close to finishing.
I didn't think he actually had those hotkeys. He just double-clicked them all.
What?
Now he's 242.
What the hell?
My God.
241.
Now this is a nice little trick from Ian. He's trying to look for it. The hatchery isn't there, but he can try and do some damage on this third hatchery, but the more army supply he loses, Snute gets further and further ahead. Ian's going to try and go for the Broodlord here. Snute trying to do the same.
66 roaches for Snute, 18 Hydralisk and 3 infestors.
Nice move here. The burrowed roach tactics going to get a queen, going to get a bunch of drones, and maybe a hatchery as well, because Snute's completely out of position.
He may just go all in because of this.
He may. The third hatchery is going to die.
Army supply 180 to 145, but he's going to have to go up a ramp.
Here come the banelings.
Oh, Ian thinking about maybe going down here. Needs to be careful.
I love that Ian got all these spine crawlers as well. This is a great idea. All this extra damage for free. The banelings coming in. They got fungled. Great fungal from Snute. A lot of the banelings got taken out of the fight. More fungals on the bottom. I can't believe these 3 infestors made that much of a difference. They're pushing up the ramp. These Hydras, the DPS is too much. I think Snute's got it again, Todd. He's got too much. Remaxing all this money. Pushing through some emergency spines, trying to go down for Ian, but it's going to be too little too late. The Norwegian Circus has too much. The roaches from Ian hitting the hive, but Snute's just taking apart the army. The spine crawlers are all dead. The infest is just accumulating army. 25 more roaches from Ian, but he's going to lose several hatcheries, if not the game at this point.
The +3 got really close to getting cancelled here too for Ian, but he's going to save that 35 drones dead though from Snute. That means when he's done spending all of the money that he has now, he's not going to be able to...
He's going to be up 60, like 30 or 40 supply
in
when
terms
this is
of
finished.
army supply, it's 170, which is actually less than the 180 that he had earlier.
And Ian still needs to deal with his army. He hasn't dealt with it yet. This is probably game right here.
Snute
He
is
just doesn't have
3-3.
much.
He's already 3-3. There's no way he's going to lose this.
His army's just so much better in every single way. And +3 is going to get cancelled as well. Ian, he had a good fight. He tried, but the Norwegian Zerg, once again, is looking at 2-0 another ZvZ. Pushing into the main. Ian, he's just trying to hold on. Snoot's just got too much. 142, 158 army supply versus 50. Oh, the only thing Ian has is 20 more drones, and that's not going to help him at all. GG. Snute with a 2-0.
240 to
Another
supply
ZvZ on the wall
Maynard.
for that guy. That's disgusting. It's a good race.
240 to supply. This race is good. it's in ZvZ though. In the other matchups, you wouldn't.
Maybe not
You
so
wouldn't
much.
really see that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, maybe in ZVP late game. But anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed that series. It was pretty sick. Snoot's just asserting his dominance in the matchup. He truly is top 10 or better at ZvZ in the world right now. He's really incredible at the matchup.
Good thing is, because he's going to have to face Hyun next.
Yes, so the Roach Headbutt to end all Roach Headbutts coming up pretty shortly. So guys, don't go away. It's Intel Extreme Masters in Taipei. We'll see you soon.